Hello guys. Hello everyone. Welcome. Alright, this could get interesting guys. So I hope you can hear me this time before I start blubbering away. Oh good, I see there's a few. Did I win? Fingers crossed. I hope not, Stephen. G'day mate. How you going, Jack Turtle? That's not nice, Jack. Okay, can you hear me? That's the question. Am I heard? I hope you can hear me. Now, if you hear some weird noises in the background, would you believe it? There is another wild storm outside. And it's just been bucketing down rain not long ago, here where I am, with lightning and thunder. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go online tonight. I was worried we're going to lose power. But I do have a backup. I got my phone here. So worst come to worst, I could have gone online on my phone. As long, cool, we can hear you. Excellent. Good on you. So that's good. That's a better start this time, eh? How many we got? We got 11, so we might wait till there's a few more on. Some of you are probably aware what's happening tonight. Going to announce the winner of this awesome giveaway, the Kickass 200 watt solar panel. So if anyone from Australian Direct or Kickass is watching, thank you very much. Really appreciate the support, guys, and offering this awesome prize for my viewers. How awesome is that? 3-in-1 entry. Girl, Phil's in the house. Yep, literally the house surrounded by thunderstorms. You would have seen that video live feed I did, was it yesterday, where I was stuck in that storm. I got the same thing here, but luckily it appears it's gone through. I was a bit worried before whether I'd be able to... Hey, Buck's on. How you going, Buck? It's good to see you on here. That's cool. Excellent. So, Landy Smurf. I love that name. That's cool, eh? That's awesome. So, I don't know. Oh, we got quite a few on right now. Getting up to 21. So, be interesting. I wonder if who's won the solar panel is actually online yet tonight. So I won't say whether I see the name or not. So what should I do? Shall I keep using suspense? Shall I blabber on about nothing? Want to buy one but all sold out. Oh bugger. Oh wow. Tell you what, I hope Kickass has got one put aside for the winner. Eh? Ed's for driving camping. Cool. Alright, so what have we got? Yeah, we've got a few on now. This is the most people I think I've ever had on a live chat. So, what's the name of your YouTube channel, Phil? I think I did write it down here somewhere. Phil's 4x4 touring and equipment. I got it wrong again in the video the other day. Actually, that's the one that's coming out this Thursday night, I think. I actually called it Phil's 4x4 camping equipment or something. Seriously, probably need to change the name of my YouTube channel. I can't even remember what it's called. Yeah, they are great solar panels. All the ones from Kickass are great. Hey Buck, I've been using the Kickass solar panels for the last 5 years, as you have, with the 200 watt glass solar panel. And I still got those solar panels. Obviously I don't take them with me when I go camping now because they are very heavy by today's standards. So I use them at home though occasionally. And they still work as good as the day when I bought them. How cool is that? But then back 5 years, it was, back 5 years ago, it was fairly common, that's what you expected. If you wanted solar panels, you had to cut around 20 kilos. basically. I don't know if there was much, particularly in the 200 plus watt range. I don't know if there was much out there that, that were lighter than that. But they did have one big advantage, those heavier ones. They did not fly away in the wind. I kid you not. Particularly that Safari lightweight solar panel thing I've got. Man, the amount of time that thing blew away. I literally had to peg it down at times. So, yeah, no, the brilliant suspense is killing me. I don't know. What should I do? Shall I announce the winner very shortly? Hopefully, I don't think Kickass would have contacted the winner yet. I asked them if they can better time to do the live chats. I told them to hold off before ringing the winner because I want to announce it first on my YouTube channel tonight, and then I'm sure they will call the winner tomorrow, and all they'll need is your mailing address. So I don't know. Kick-ass panels. I have lithium. Glass ones at home, thin out camping. Don't need the panels as much now. I have lithium. Yeah, that's a good thing with the lithiums. Well, if you're not using 240 volt systems, like an induction oven and so on like I am, I could probably go 2-3 days without charging the thing. Full out and about. Yeah, that's probably better than what it's called now, eh? I need a name for my YouTube channel. Was Clayton ringing them? I don't know. I don't know if Clayton's the one that's going to call you, the winner, to congratulate you, to get your address. I imagine he's probably is here in Australia. He's probably been here for a while. Or it could be their, could be, most likely it'll be their marketing department that might ring up. And I'll just bring up her Tiani, social media coordinator. Social media coordinator. I would imagine she will call you. So, but hey, you never know. You might, guys, get a personal phone call from Clayton himself. How cool would that be? Hey? Yeah, don't know if he's watching here tonight. If he is, hello. Keep up the good work. And thank you to Australian Direct and Kickass for supporting me and offering this cool prize draw. So, can't wait to go lithiums. I reckon a 120 amp hour will do me. Yeah, they're not exactly, if you're referring to the iTech World ones, they're not exactly 120 amps. They got a 105 amps, if I believe. If Buck, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But they got 105 amps capacity, and you can use all those capacity. Remember Clayton at the Drifter event? Oh yes, I could never forget that. What an awesome night around the fire. Jack Turtle was rat-assed. Was he? Oh no, because quite a few others were just about, I think they were rolling to their camp after that. Yeah, that was an awesome night. What great entertainers they are, eh? Clayton on his guitar, good singer, and the other guy that works for him. Can't remember his name. He was great on the guitar as well. Got 100 in my caravan, does everything what I need, Landy. So 100 lithiums, Jacks. Mamma mia, what have you got in there? Space rocket. Actually, space rockets need less power, don't they, once they get up there? Yeah, it was a great night around the fire, drinking and singing. Yeah, Maniac is building the suspense. That's it. That's the idea, Tofty. That's the idea. So what do you reckon, guys? Kept you in suspense long enough. Now, how do you want me to announce this? Shall I announce what town or city or country first? Narrow it down that way? Or should I just go bang, bring it up, boom, right there. There's the winner. Let me know how you... Warwick Cuppa. What do you reckon, guys? How shall we do this? So, oh well, shall we just rip the band-aid off? Okay. Well, how cool would it be if actually we got a few just joining in now. So let's wait and see, just in case the winner pops up or he's already on here. You never know. Yeah, great night that, eh? Gary Pye. Yeah, I think, Gary, you were there. I remember you were there. In fact, you went over there and joined the lads out at around the fire where they were singing with me. I think I was there till, I don't know what time I was there, till 12:30 or just before 1 o'clock. Before I rolled that back into, before I went to bed. Okay, guys. So, how about we announce this winner? Over to Tuesday Lotto. I tell you what, is that the one that's a $60 million? How awesome would that be to win that? Could you imagine the vehicle I could set up? I don't think the accessories, I would need to spend any money on accessories. I reckon I've got some good stuff in that vehicle. But I'll probably go to a new four-wheel drive for sure. And whack all my gear in. How exciting that would be. Yeah. Okay, so we announce the winner. I don't know if I got a drum roll here or not. I should have. The winner is Sydney. Whoa, hey Tofty. Wow, what a guess, eh? Okay. Oh well, guys, I'm gonna drag it on a bit. Hey, I'm gonna play some tricks. Okay, so the winner is from Sydney. Tofty's got it spot on. Good guess. Definitely some lucky winner is in Sydney. Whether you're watching this now or whether you're not, I don't know. So yes, how exciting. So should I announce it now? I reckon we will, eh? Who on here is from Sydney? Okay, guys, there's a little bit of a delay of about 30 seconds. I'm seeing your comments 30 seconds after I go live to air. I think it's through this app that I'm using, where I can bring up all these clips and so on, the graphics and that. Got another one here that should be a lot quicker, but it's just so complicated. I'm trying to figure out how to use the thing, and it's just, just ripped me hair out. Even someone like me that was a computer tech is finding it difficult, this other one. So, hey, good night. Alright, so, well, you know the winner's from Sydney, New South Wales. So over there it's 8:15, so we won't let these wait any longer. So, let's do this, eh? It's a bit of a drum roll. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Boom. Okay, there it is. That's the Congratulations to Ben. Good stuff. You got a brand new Kickass 200 watt super thin solar panel coming your way. Do you have to be double vaxxed to win, Phil? It's funny. Luckily, that was not one of the criterions to, or whatever the word is, to actually enter. Yeah. So, that's cool. So, excellent. So, you've all got that. Congrats, Ben. Yep, excellent. So, there's about a 30 seconds wait. So, I don't know if Ben is here, whether he's online here tonight or not. So, maybe he'll watch this later tonight, or he'll watch it tomorrow, or expect a phone call from someone from Kickass. I would imagine probably tomorrow. So how awesome is that? So there you go, guys. As you know, I've got one of these. I've got the 300 watt solar panel, and I've been putting it to the test of late, although the last couple of days I haven't, because it's been very cloudy, overcast, which is the same thing, isn't it? Mate, that's me. I'm in Lake Macquarie, 1.5 north of Sydney. Sweet. Lake Macquarie, that's nice. Deuce Cattell. Is that you? Is that you? Are you the winner? Mate, that's me. North, 1.5 hours north of Sydney. Oh, sweet. How awesome. I'm excited. Looks like we've actually got the winner online here tonight. I was hoping it would be. It'd be awesome to see who won. So you have to tell me, do you own one of these Kickass solar panels, or is this, yeah, it's great. Is this the first? You're going to love this thing, guys. This thing, it hammers it just powers the amps through. I'm really quite surprised how well these work. Sweet. Well, there you are, guys. We got the winner. The winner is actually online here. How awesome is that? So no one from Kickass obviously rang you today. They sent me a message around 9:30 this morning that, hey, I've just done the draw for the announcement, and also they told me there is going to be a bonus for you guys that haven't won. All right. I believe Kickass is going to send all of you that entered into the draw an email, I believe, soon. And there's going to be a bit of a discount there for you guys as well. So just keep an eye out for that email. I wasn't sure whether they sent them out yet. I wasn't sure whether they actually called you yet and to let you know whether you won or not. Because when I didn't read the message till about, I think it was about 10:30, and I quickly got in contact with them. I said, oh, hey, can you not ring them until I go on live on air and announce the winner tonight, and then give them a call. So, yeah. Gotten a $20 gift card. Sweet. So they've already come through, have they? I think let me check. I think they are offering, you'll know better once the emails come through. Think they're going to save $20 on shipping. I have emailed the other entries, provided them with a discount code to save $20 on shipping costs. So there you go. So not only that though, guys, not only have you got the $20 discount on the shipping code, they also have given me, in case you haven't heard, they've given me a code that you can, the discount code that you can use store-wide on anything. And it is, I believe it's in capital letters, it is AU, okay, AU Camper 10. Alright, I think that's it. Let me check here. Yeah, I'll just bring this screen up here and you can see it right there on the bottom left. Okay, that's a discount, that's store-wide, AU Camper 10. So if you put that in the shopping cart, there'd be somewhere there we can put in a discount code, and you'll get save 10% on your purchases. By the way, that's the schematics for my electronic system in my 4-wheel drive. So in case you're wondering there. So awesome. So well, congratulations, Ben. That's awesome to get someone. I'm in Swansea. Oh, cool. You got a lot of kick-ass gear, not the solar panel. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, well, there you go. You own a kick-ass solar panel now, the 200-watt solar panel. So, and they work great too. So what else? I'm in the process of building my rig. Half the stuff on it was because I watch your channel. Oh, sweet. So what did you? Let's bring this up. So what did you go for? Did you go to? You can see what my setup is right here. So awesome setup. It's just love it, love it, love, love, love. And you see, I've still got the Kickass 75 litre dual zone fridge there, which is over 2 years old now, which I won up at Bucks, Mr. Buckarooni's event that he had up at Lake Tenaroo, which is what's it about November, just over 2 years ago, 2 years and 3 months ago. So I won that. So I can't believe it's already been over 2 years since I've been up north. I so desperately want to head back up there. Got such a beautiful country up there. I love the Daintree. The Daintree was just awesome. And around Cooktown, love those little country towns like that. That's the one, AU Camper 10. So the Osmo 5, yes. I've got one of these. I should have had this. Hang on. You can't see the camera here. Let me bring the camera back. There we go. Oops. I got one of these DJI Osmo. Actually, they just call them the OM5 now. They removed the name Osmo off them. And what they are is a gimbal for your phone. So, well, it's gone wacky that there, the background. So, yeah, that's what I should have had yesterday when that storm came through. So, yeah, that was awesome, that. So, yeah, so expect a call from someone from, you never know, from Kickass or Australian Direct. Could be Clayton, you never know. If he's around and he's not busy, I'm sure he'd call the winners. Tied around the house and burn a lot on full moon night. Yes, I liked, I've got skin that, you're probably talking about the sunburn. I've got skin that, luckily my skin doesn't burn, but I still get very careful though. And I like to try to always wear long sleeve shirts when I'm outdoor. And always have for years, guys. I've always been aware of the sun, the damage the sun can cause. And I used to go around working on farms and that with long sleeve shirts, and everyone thought I was silly. But now you go around, drive around the farms up here, and look, people, they look like they're Eskimos. They look like they're in Antarctica, literally. So it's quite amazing. The difference now it is, whereas back then, as on the farm, people used to laugh at you for wearing long sleeve out in the field, or even a wide brim hat. You're just a laughing stock. But guys, I knew that can't be good for you. Getting sunburned that bad, that cannot be good for you. So I always thought, yeah, bugger, they can laugh if they want, but I'm wearing long sleeve shirts, long trousers, and big hat. And they were working shirtless and, you know, oh goodness, swimming togs and so on, and no hats on, and yeah. So, but yes, I agree the DJI OM5 is pretty good. The only thing, when you're walking, they still got that issue where they jump up and down. You get none of that, alright, but they up and down, so when you walk, you got to try to walk really smooth, but knees bent, down low. try to and go steady and try to go. So they're only, what are they, 3 axis is it? Well, how many axis is it? 4 axis? How to pronounce it? I did know about this. So they're locking on one of the axes. So 3 axis. There we are. So it's a 3 axis stabilization. Really, ideally, a 4 axis would be the best. But you can get away with it a lot by using a selfie stick. And in fact, these are a bit of a selfie stick. But if you got another selfie stick, because they got the standard tripod connection on the bottom, that's just causing the screen to go real weird when I put that up, I noticed. And have you heard anything about the boy that was burnt at Kincuna? Yes, I have. I have. The video I posted yesterday is actually about that. Someone left the fire, didn't put it out properly, and they just covered it with sand. And not only did they do that, it was actually on a footpath to go down onto the beach. Okay? On a footpath. And there was a family that went there, and within 5 minutes, they were rushing their little boy. I think he was only about 10 or 12. Maybe 12, maybe more 12. And rushing him to the emergency hospital. And he's got really severe bad burns under both his feet. Now, I've seen the photos and they were horrid, really bad. So he's getting around in a wheelchair. He can't walk. He can't walk at all. And this was from the heat that's in the sand. So, yeah. Yeah, I've heard, yeah, you've had thousands of skin cancers removed. Yeah. It'd be worse for you back up there where you're living. Even for me though, the UV, just anywhere in Queensland, the UV is just really deadly. And I've always been aware of that. I knew years ago that this, this can't be good for you. This browning getting so dark, this burning the skin. I always figured to myself, yeah, this can't be really good. And then I'm lucky, I've got like skin, what they call swarthy skin, that doesn't burn as much. I can stay in the sun longer than what a lot of other people can, because don't know why, we just happen to have skin like that. And so lucky me in a way, I suppose. So that's cool. Head off. Thanks for the competition, Phil and Kickass, and congratulations, Ben. Cool. Thanks, Landy Smurf. No problems. Bushman 85 litre upright. Nice. Tell you what, it'd be awesome to have an upright fridge, even in the back of my Pajero. I reckon it would work really well. So you never know, one day, years down the track, I think the upright fridges are going to get more popular. I've noticed when I was walking around BCF the other day, the first time in goodness knows how long, and I noticed Engle's got one now. It's about 1238, and it looked awesome. And they had an upright fridge, and nice black. So yeah, that surprised me. I also noticed this other table. They had this bamboo table there that looked really, really nice. I've been thinking about getting. Got to go now, night all. Yep, good night, Buck. Thanks for coming on tonight. Yeah, so the boy about the Kincuna, I haven't heard back what the latest is yet, but getting back to that, most of you probably would have seen the video I posted yesterday, but the reason I posted the video, and I got a little bit angry too during that video, is because one of the local Facebook groups here where I live, the family posted on there, hey, this is what happened, do the right thing, don't leave your fires like that, covered in sand, put it out properly with water. Well, there was a local that came on there, commented, and says he doesn't see anything wrong with that. He says it's fine as long as there's not a fire there, and he blamed the boy for walking on it. Yeah, that's that's just some of the knowledge, some of the thinking. You know, some of these people that are going to the beaches, what they are thinking, guys. You know, so yeah, and obviously he copped a lot of flack from a lot of people on this group that answered back, telling them you're an idiot, this and that, and you know, it's just yeah. So not good, guys. So luckily I don't hear the thunder anymore, so that storm is cleared, it's gone past. So that's good. It got a bit airy there before for a while. I wasn't sure whether I'd be able to go live. So yeah. Alright, let's have a look to see if there's any messages, anything that anyone wants to chat about. Put into your channel. Good night all. Yep, good night Jack. You're off to bed early, eh? So, any questions? Anyone? Ben, you got any questions about anything to do with my setup here? I can, hang on, let me go here and put this, let me change the, I'm just going to change the screen here. So just bear with me, I'm just working this out. Sony, I don't have the Sony camera. I'm using my old camera. Can't be used by another program. Okay. Alright, let me see if this will work. No, it's looking for me Sony camera, but that's okay. So you can see the schematics here that I've got here. So if there's any questions you want to know anything about that, fire away, let me know. I'm more than happy to try to answer the best that I can of what I've found on this. It's so what else you got? Upright, working on my own design for slide out kitchen, sweet. Drifter Stockton rooftop tent 1.4, Drifter Stockton awning, Kickass shower tent. And thanks Phil and Aussie Direct. No worries. You got some good gear there though, so yep, awesome. Just got a notification, a weather warning pop up on my phone. It's not popping up as, oh, you got a, just about start rewiring the canopy of the iTech World 200 amp hour, sweet. I'm kind of regretting that I did not get the 200 amp hour. I wish I had got that one, because the 105 is quite, well, it's enough, and not because the 105 amps, surprisingly, I find it's more than enough for me. But the discharge rate and the charge rate, I'd like the discharge and the charge rate to be a bit more, which I believe, if I recall, the 200 amp hour does have a higher discharge rate, and probably the charge rate too. I'd have to check again. So that's probably, in hindsight, what I should have got. You got the Egon DC Hub 2, nice bit of kit. It is a nice bit of kit, that one. It's awesome, that. You do get a bit of flack at times, but it's not as bad as when, just after Andrew released it. Yeah, it is pricey. It's not cheap, but there's a lot of quality gear going into it. I've found it to be worthwhile. Definitely, I found it worthwhile the cost. So, yeah, so I will, hang on. Let me go back to this footage of me. There we go, so you can see me. Maybe what I'll do is put the image of, wait a minute, I'm just going to change another image here. Just bear with me. Oh, I tell you what, she's getting warm here, guys. It's some warm weather here today. There we go, almost done. confirm that. There we go. Let's put this, I'll put this one over here. There we go. So you can see that now. And cool. So what else have we got? Well done, Phil, and congrats to the winner, Ben. Well done, mate. Thanks, Phil, and thanks to Australian Deck for offering such a great prize. Yep. Yeah, no, they've been great, eh? They got some awesome gear, and I've had the privilege of meeting most of the people there over the years. I've met Clayton a couple of times now. In fact, the first time I came across Australian Direct, I went to their store because I purchased my first 12-volt battery system from there. It's when I first set up a proper electrical 12-volt system in the back of my 4 drive, and that was about 5 years ago. And Clayton was serving back then, so he was doing a lot of multitasking, and he was serving, and he served me, and he helped me carry. I can remember when he helped me carrying all the gear out to the car. I didn't realise he was the owner at the time, but he was a great bloke, and he couldn't do enough to help me. So yeah, and they've certainly come along now, because they're located about 3 hours drive away from where I am. Where I am. Bit tired today. So yeah, so it's been awesome. What else have we got here? Any other questions? I'd love to see a photo of your setup when with the Bushman 85 litre. I reckon they're an awesome fridge. I've seen them. I've heard about them. There'd be so many advantages of going with something like that, because then you won't need the fridge slide, and that will help eliminate quite a fair bit of weight out of your vehicle. But in saying that, these Kickass fridges they got, guys, you can see I've still got the one is 2 years, 3 months, hardly ever gets turned off. It's on. I leave it on 24 hours a day in my vehicle, which is a lot easier to do now that I've got the lithium battery. It's amazing the difference that lithium makes, guys. So if you're still on AGM, definitely save up in your next battery. Go for lithium, because in the long run, particularly if you're going to plan on keeping your vehicle or this system for a while, in the long run, you're actually going to save money because of how long they last. As long as you look after them and use them within their specifications, they're going to last for quite a while. Even if you take them down to 80% discharge, right down to 20, only leaving with 20% capacity, you're still going to get thousands of charge cycles out of them. Well, when I say thousands, probably a couple thousand, most of them, I believe. I kind of, on average, most of the time, depending whether I'm camping or not, I seem to go about half, 50. I could take mine down to about 50, and then I like to charge it. But if it ever goes any lower than that, I know I've got no problems. It'd be sweet, no problems at all. Which is totally opposite with the AGM. AGM, that's even if I go anywhere near 50%, I start panicking. Ooh, you know, because they do not have a long life. So I just constantly always trying to keep it charged all the way time. And I think that's probably why my last AGM battery is still going to this day, which is over 5 years old, and it's still performing. It's still got heaps on there, but I very rarely ever took any more than probably 20-30 amps out of that thing. And it's that's 120 amp hour as well. And that's the Kickass AGM battery that I purchased some 4 or 5 years ago. So, so obviously I've updated now is because, as you can see, the system I went on now, you cannot do this with an AGM battery. Well, you could if you buy many of them, heaps of them. So, yeah, I have a MITS Alloy Canopy, got all the good stuff. They only got a few weeks back, still working slowly to get the gear in. I have been buying gear and getting it ready for about 6 months. Super stoked with this prize, mate. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad to see someone well worthy to win it. That's awesome. 4x4 barrel, looking at buying an uni, but end up getting a rock box portable pizza oven. Found it better. Yeah, nothing wrong with the rock box, guys. I've got two unis. I've got the Pro and I've got the Uni 3 or whatever they call it now. But I was so close many times to getting the rock box. The only reason I didn't buy the rock box at the time is because I could not get one. I don't think they were even in the country at the time, but I could get the uni. I could get it. I was passing through, busy, and I found a place. They had them in stock. No one had the rock box, but I've been doing research and that on them, and they are a good unit as well. Both of them are very good. You can't go wrong with either one of them. Woohoo! 986 and counting. Oh, last I checked you on 985. 986. So that's FJ Camping in Touring. You know what that's about? Stephen's almost hit his 1,000 subscribers, guys. Almost 1,000. How cool is that? As a lot of you YouTubers out there would know, once you reach 1,000 subscribers, it just changes for the better. Your videos get promoted more, then you can actually start making a few dollars back from all that time you work on production and buying all the equipment and so on in your pockets through the ad revenue. About 4.5 years ago, Kickass AGM battery and box with the charger, etc. was a great bit of kit. My cousin burnt it off me. He still doesn't miss a bit. Yep. See, if you look after them, you know, you don't take them down too low. Those AGM Kickass batteries will last a long time. And in fact, they actually come with a 5-year warranty, but they're pro rata warranty. So the longer you own it, the less you'll get back. But that's still not bad, though. 5 years. FJ Camping in Turn, definitely going now. Yeah, cool. Cause, yeah, they get up early. They have to get up very early in the morning for work. Sweet. Thanks. Yeah. Deuce. How do you pronounce that? It's a Deuce Cartel? Is it? Cartel. Deuce Cartel. Have I got that right? So, how awesome. Time for bed, 3:30 a.m. Wake up tomorrow. Those MITS alloys seem pretty popular. I see a lot of people are getting the MITS alloys. So, yeah. So, are you getting the Servo GX as well? That if you go into Victron gear, that Servo GX is really worth the price, the investment in it. That thing is magic, guys. That thing is just magic. I should be able to do a cartel. Deus cartel. Deus. Deus cartel. Is that right? It's a tricky one. Yeah, so awesome. Just how great is that? I'm just flabbergasted over, you know, this prize that they've given to me. I think the reality is kind of hitting me now. How great they are. I mean, they've been really good to me. That 300-watt solar panel, as you're aware, they gave me that. All right, I didn't pay anything for that. Same as the fridge slide. I had to get a new fridge slide, and they gave me the heavy-duty one with the pull-out table. And that's come in really handy, guys, because as you know, I used to own the drifter draw system in the back of my Pajero. Now, not that there's nothing wrong with them, they're a great draw and I really loved it, but I wanted the extra room. It was too big, it was taking up too much room. I didn't need such a big draw system, particularly this one that I had in the vehicle, because it was so deep. It was very, very high, and it was almost, I couldn't fit the fridge in. I was just barely able to fit this 75 litre fridge in. So I wanted to put this 240 volt system and that in, and there's nowhere to put it. So I removed it, and I wanted to save weight. Although I didn't need to save the weight, but I wanted to further save weight out of the vehicle. So I decided, well, yeah, and I've been actually thinking about this for quite some time. So I decided to remove the drawers, and I sold them. And someone drove down from Brisbane and picked them up not long after I listed them for sale, and he was super excited. I think he had a Nissan. I don't know whether he's online or not. How did he go? Did he ever fit that in yet? I think he had a really nice 4-wheel drive setup. It was set up for, you know, proper, really good hardcore 4-wheel driving. Did you end up checking out Brendan Tate channel, how he made his batteries out of LTA Yinlong batteries? I think I did. Is Brendan Tate, is he the one that's from Melbourne? There's a guy down in Melbourne that I've been following, and he's got a heap of videos up where he's showing how he makes the batteries, and he sells the components, so you can also buy them off him already made. Is that the one you're talking about? If not, I will do a Google search on that name. So, hats off to you for creating a great down-to-earth channel. Cool. You really give you honest advice that conveys a testament recognition of your hard work. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. That's great. That's the thing. I do try to be very honest. Whether it's given to me or not, whether I buy it, I'm still honest. So I'll never lose that. So hey, lucky Kickass has given me good gear, eh? Because if there's some issue with it, you would know it. And honestly, I got no complaints about any of the gear that they've had. One item I did buy from them once, I had a bit of an issue with them, and I claimed warranty on it, and there was a bit of a mix-up with warranty there. But they sorted it out in no time at all. It took a lot longer to sort out, but some of the paperwork or whatever got mixed up or something, and I never heard from ages. And eventually they sorted it out and replaced the product. So yeah, but they've been great. Hats off to you. Thumbs up. Yep. Do you? It's still Day Ooze Cartel. Bushman, iTech World, just to name a few. Yep. Yeah, we've got some good companies here in Australia. I think it's an ideal 4-wheel drive destination. You only got to see in America how they love some of the Australian products. They use a lot of Australian products over there in America as well. I've seen on a lot of the YouTube channels. Hey, the Dreaded Chef, how you going? Not too hot up there, eh? She's pretty warm down here in central Queensland, eh? So, yeah, I did have the aircon on before, but I had to shut the door, so otherwise you guys would be able to hear the TV in the next room there. And there's no aircon in here, and there's no insulation. This thing faces the western wall, so I don't know how I'm going to cope in here when it gets warmer in summer. Because man, this is like it's like a sauna. It's like a sauna in here. So may have to get another aircon put in this room here, maybe. Something is just behind me or just over there, probably just to the left. I'm frying eggs on the road. I would imagine you would be. I was watching the weather forecast before, and I think they said something like 34 degrees up there. I thought, whoa, that's crazy. I'll tell you what though, that's up there in summertime, up around Cairns, is, man, I guarantee you guys, to be able to handle that type of heat and humidity, I yeah, I mean, you guys are in God's country, such beautiful, but whew, I don't think I'd be able to handle your summer. I went there one year. Would have been probably about 4 years ago. I went to Cairns, and it was the first time I ever went up that way. My brother was going up there, and so I went up there to meet up with him, and we stayed for about a week in a nice resort in the city there. I went up by train, so I didn't have a vehicle. But so what I did is they hired a car and they just drove around the car, did the touristy thing, and I wasn't really interested in that. I wanted to go up to the Daintree. I wanted to go off-roading. I wanted to go out west. I wanted to go Cape Tribulations. So I did day tours. I just rang up and went on the day tours. And I went on one day tour that went up to that road that we drove on. I can't remember what it's called. You go up to the Daintree and you come to that 4-drive road, and it's ridiculously steep. And we went up there, and part of the tour is we went on the boat up the river to look for crocodiles. And this was in early February, late January, early February. And they couldn't find any of the crocodiles. And the guy said, oh, it's pretty cool. And I didn't think it was cool. I thought it was, it was a bit like Bundy kind of weather. I thought, this isn't too bad. This is quite nice. But that year, there was a period there for about a week. They had some really unusual weather, and it was like a winter weather. So they couldn't find a crocodile. And so the guy said, it's a lot cooler this week. We might go where they normally sit during the winter time, where they bask and sit. And that's what they did. Sure enough, they found them straight away where they normally find them in winter time. So I had no idea. I mean, I've been to Singapore and I know what the heat is like, but I didn't know what it was like in Cairns until one day when we went up to the tablelands, Atherton Tablelands. And I remember we going up there, and I remember we went to the that tourist attraction where it's all the accommodation, the houses are built out of cement. The guy went there years ago, and he built, like a amphitheatre and so on out of cement. Some of it's dropped down now. They've got a caravan park. Paranella Park, I think is what it's called. Paranella Park, yes. And I went there. Okay, so we got there, and then the weather just out of the blue changed. Out of the blue it changed, and I can remember it got a little bit overcast, and it started showering a bit, and then it's this heat wave out of nowhere just came through, and it was real light showers. The road, when you're walking on the road, was smoking. There was mist coming off the road. It was like you were walking through a sauna. I kid you not, it felt like I was in a sauna. It was incredible. I have never ever seen anything equivalent to that to this day of what it was like there. And the guy was saying, yes, this is normally what it's like up here. And I think in summer, I think of, whoa. I remember just walking around, I feel like I was going to melt. Honestly, my thongs were just about starting to melt. Actually, no, I think I was wearing shoes that day. They were starting to melt. I've still got those shoes too, actually. They have survived. But they had to re-glue the base back onto them after that trip. But yeah, I got to see the steam the road just got so hot that it was steaming. So it was just amazing. So that is one course. So definitely when I go back up there, it'll be during winter. No doubt. Because I actually prefer the cooler start melting. It's pretty crazy. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised that they wouldn't melt. I'd be surprised if they don't melt. So I remember we're going for the day tours, and I remember going around, and there was these really old houses that was half fallen down, but they all had these newish, humongous, big air conditioning ducts on the outside the house. Honestly, they probably would have been worth more than the house. Half the house, some of the houses I saw was almost fallen down in some places I've seen. Update view count of YouTube. Okay, it just came up with an error message on YouTube. Hopefully I'm still here and you can still see me. Let me know if you lost connection or not. But it was just mind-boggling to see these big, humongous outdoor units, even in some little houses. I can understand why. You guys must have to go through aircon. Just your electricity bill must be crazy. So you wouldn't be able to live up there if you didn't have an aircon, imagine. You wouldn't be able to do it. So, but wow, what a country though. How awesome it is there. How beautiful. The green grass. Just incredible. So, yeah, so how long were you, thanks, Jeff? Got you loud and clear. Cool. I used to be a chef before I started Korean building. Cool for the love of it now. Sweet. 34 degrees feels like an actual volcano. That's it, eh? That's it. It does. See, it's a different heat. I've been to places where it was 40 degrees, but it was a dry heat. And the locals were suffering, and I was fine. I thought, oh, this is, I don't know. How come you're sweating so much, I used to say. Because it was a dry heat. Even on days that we get to 30 degrees, 31 degrees, and it's high humidity, it feels like it's a lot hotter. It's the humidity. The heat is not so bad, but it's that humidity. I just cannot stand that. I cannot stand the humidity. I struggle to cope with it. Yeah. You might have a handle on this already, but I like that one. Cooking for love beats cooking for the greedy owner. Barbecue Pitmaster right here. Feel free to connect with me anytime, always. Yes, the dreaded chef, I totally agree. Award-winning barbecue pitmaster. He is right there. The master of the barbecue. I've had quite a few of your meals when we were up there Lake Tenerife. And also that video that I filmed, remember I asked you some advice once on how to cook that 8-hour brisket in that $69 smoker, and you gave me the tips online and I followed them to the T, except right at the end. I probably should have let it cook a bit longer, but I tell you what, it still turned out really good. And that video, and that was filmed back just before December last year. That's my most popular video. Every month I get more views on that video than any other video. Never fails. 2,000 plus views a month. So it's approaching something like 25,000 views on that video right now. So yeah, amazing. So I must have did something right. Because a lot of people, the dreaded chef, are copying that recipe that you gave me there, that system, and having success with that. Spaghetti Factory. Ah, yes, I put that up before to show the winner of the Kickass 200 watt solar panel. He's doing a similar setup. Mate, that's the electronics in my vehicle. All that you see there is in my Pajero. So I've got a air fryer oven. I've got an air fryer oven inside my vehicle, 12 litre capacity. I've got an induction cooktop, alright? And I've got a full-blown... I haven't showed the coffee machine. Oh my gosh, I'm missing the coffee machine. I've got no idea how I'm going to fit a coffee machine in there. But I've got an automatic coffee machine that even does latte macchiatos. I never heard what they are until I got this coffee machine. It's got a touch screen on it, and you flick through this nice pretty touch screen with all the colours, and if something came up as a latte macchiato, and I thought, oh, I'll give that a go, and I pressed the button, and it tells you everything step by step what to do, and it's an awesome drink. But something like 8 or 9 different types of coffees in there, and then you can blend your own and so on. Awesome little coffee machine, and it's in the back of my car. So anywhere I go, I can have a cappuccino, a latte, a coffee, espresso, one of those macchiatos ones or whatever. So yeah, it uses the coffee pods, okay? I didn't go for the one where you grind it. But what I did do, and I've found some good coffee pods actually that I don't mind, particularly Starbucks. It's an espresso. So yeah, food truck. It is basically like a food truck. So, but it cooks so quick. Those air fryers, they cook really. I like the way it cooks the food. So quick. Like I can cook chicken legs in about 20 minutes virtually. I get these chicken legs that are already crumbed from Coles. They taste really nice. They're built very similar to KFC ones. And oh, I just saw the screen up here. I've got this big emblem covering me. At least it's not covering me face, I'd say. Oh, did I go the wrong way? There we go. Alright, just saw that. I probably should have moved that screen over a bit. Let me actually make the screen bigger of me. So just going to bring the order, move it up. Oops, I did the wrong one. Order, move up. Oh, hang on, it's not doing what I. Here we go. Got it. There we go. You'll be able to see me a bit better now. Basically, you have a food truck. It's just about like a food truck. You'll have to check out some of the photos on my Facebook group. I think I've got some there on there. So the 240 volt oven stays in the vehicle all the time. The induction cooktop, it goes in the vehicle and at home. I cook in it at home a lot because I find it a lot better than the electric stovetop. I love the induction cooktop, so using that. Sweet. Well, I have some questions about the Serbo GX for you, and we'll swing you a message soon. Yeah, no problems. Yep. The Serbo GX, it's a game changer, that thing, guys. I love it. It's got so much you can do with it, but information, I love to know exactly what everything's doing on my system. I can grab, hang on, let me bring it up on my phone now. I can grab my phone, and as quick as this, I can go on here and it tells me exactly what my system is doing, what the charge rate, everything. I don't know if you can see. It's going to be tricky. This background is gone crazy. Oh, it doesn't like me phone. Wait a minute. If I... There you go. Let me change this background. Okay. So you can see that there, guys. So I'm remotely connecting to my system. It shows it's discharging. My battery's at 84.2% charge rate. Join 3. What's that say? 3.2 amps. DC power 44 watts. 3.5. That's the fridge. So the fridge should be running at the moment. PV, that's your solar input. Generator AC input. As you know, I can use a generator to charge this as well, and you got your AC loads as well. But that's not all, guys. where it makes a big difference is that I can actually go into advanced, and in advanced it gives me heap more information. If you have a look in here, and this is just on the phone, so if you go onto the screen, okay, it shows you what the battery temperature is and so on, details the batteries, how many cycles it's had, etc. The battery temperature, so you can see what the battery temperature's got up to, what it's coming down to. It's pretty warm at the moment, so you notice that's affect the battery temperature as well, since that storm just went through. And this is just some of the graphs. It's also just the state of charge, etc. And I can show you there's just endless what I can show you with that. I can control the inverter through this. I can turn it on and off and so on. I can turn different components on and off, etc. And anywhere you're connected to it remotely, you can do that anywhere in the world. So it's a really good peace of mind to know exactly what your system is doing, particularly when it's inside a vehicle. So yeah. What's the longest you have been away off grid using all your gadgets, coffee machine, induction, etc.? 1 week. 1 week. And that was just recently. For 1 week. I did an experiment. I cooked every meal using 240 volt except for breakfast. And the reason being is I like my cereals. So I don't cook breakfast in the morning, I just have a quick cereal. But for lunch and for dinner, I cooked. And my oven has also got one of those rotisserie. Is that how you pay? You know, the rotis things you spin around. So I've cooked roasts in there. I've cooked chicken in there. I've fried chips in there. I've done... I was even going to bake a cake, but I never got around to it. But I actually had a cake pan with me and I was going to bake cakes. But just numerous stuff, I can't remember. Chicken meals and different roasts and, like I said, chips and sausage rolls and pies and all that. So everything in it. But I didn't take I actually didn't, got to run for now. Great to catch up with you briefly. I'll flick you a message soon. Yep, no problems. So I didn't have any solar panels. I didn't bring the solar panel. All I brought along was my little Honda generator. I've got a little Honda generator. So I wanted to test that out. And plus, just bringing that on its own, it's actually surprisingly, it was a lot less mucking about as well with the generator. It was quick to set up. I just had it sitting on the floor behind the passenger seat, sitting there. When I need it, just grabbed it, put it out, bang, turn it on, plug a power point in, and away it goes, as quick as that. And Honda being as quiet as they are, it wasn't an issue at all. Even when I had people camping right next to me, they had no issues with it whatsoever. They were a little concerned when I pulled it out, but when I ran it, you could hardly hear it because I just run a long lead right out the other side of the car there, and the wind was blowing the noise away. And you can virtually sit right soon. But I wanted to test it, but we were mostly remote anyway. But I did have other campers with me. I didn't go on my own. The whole week we were away from 1 week, and only 1 day did we go away for a drive. The whole time we just stayed put because I got the DC charger in the car. So it was only on for 1 day, and we went on a 125 kilometre round trip, bit of a tour around the area. And that was the only day, so I didn't have to run the generator at all on that day. So you could say there was 6 days then. And in total, I recorded the hours. Well, I didn't record it. The Turbo GX does all that for you. It lets you know how many hours the generators run. It lets you know what power at any time of the day or any point at a time what power it's generating, putting into the system, etc. The Turbo GX does all that for you. As long as you've got a Multiplus, you need the Victron Multiplus to have that feature. So if you're going for a Turbo GX, definitely the Victron Multiplus. No, it's not the 1 kVA Honda. I got the 22i, the EU 22i. So I think that's the better one to grab over the 1 kVA. Although the 1 kVA will be enough to charge your battery. It'll be more than enough to keep your battery charged. But if you want to run, you know, more than one 240 volt at a time, like the induction and the stove or something or anything else like that, that extra oomph that generator's got makes it a big difference as well. Yeah. So that's the one I got there. I've got the Honda 22. I would like to one day, I'm going to see if I can find someone who's got the 1 kVA. I want to plug it in my system and see how it works, see how it handles, and I want to see how loud it is running at around about 800 watts. Because 800 watts is probably about the peak continuous run time you want to run it. So I find charging, when you want to charge your battery at 50 amps, it consumes around about 800 watts it needs to charge your battery at a 50 amp charge rate, which the 1 kVA will handle it fine. But I just wondering, is it loud at is it loud when you run it at 800? Whereas with the 2200 that I've got, I can get away with running it, you know, at 800. Well, then it's not much noisier than when it is at idle. So you're charging at 800 VA watts. It's only drawing 800 out of it. So it's just idling virtually. So it's really quiet, really quiet. So I'd love to, someone around the area has got one of these Honda 1 kVA or whatever they're, KVA, and I'd love to just plug in that to see, and I've got a sound level meter I can test at certain distance away and see what difference it makes. Because the 1 kVA has got advantage, it's only 13 kilos. The one I've got is like 20 kilos. But the 20 kilos is not an issue there because it is very compact. It's quite a small unit. It's quite amazing how small it is. And it's quite efficient on the fuel as well. Surprisingly how long you get out of a tank full. It's only like 3.6 litres. And I think the 1 VA, I think it's about 2.6 to 2.5 litres or something in it. So there we go. So if anyone is watching this that lives locally around the area, shoot me off a message and let me know if you've got a Honda 1 kVA. I wouldn't mind meeting up with you so I can come around your place or whatever, or meet you somewhere down in the Burnett River and plug this thing in. And I want to see how it handles the capacity. Now, the unique feature with this Victron Multi Plus is that I can adjust the input for the AC input. So it will not overload. There'll be no chance it will overload your generator. I can turn it right down and then gradually turn it up until it reaches that 800 and see what it's doing and how noisy it is, etc. So that would be awesome. Yeah. No worries. Just shoot me an email or message if you need to know anything more about that. So how many people we got? We've still got 8 on. Alright, we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. So cool. Alright guys, is there anyone else who's got any other messages? Any questions? No Unimog over build New Zealand channel called Brendan Tate. Oh, the Unimog one. Yeah, actually, yeah, there is a guy I've been following that's building a Unimog. It's awesome. Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah, I have been watching his channel of late. I haven't watched his latest video up, but I have to check that out. I think that's the one you're talking about. There is one guy, there's a couple of guys that are building up Unimogs as expedition vehicles that I've been following, and I'm pretty sure Brendan, there's one I think that's in Australia as well, and I think there's another one that's travels the world. This guy travels around the world traveler or something. I think he's called. I don't know. He's got global travel or something, and although it's don't think it's a Unimog though. But no, I'm not sure what it is. But it looked a bit like a Unimog. But he recently came here in Australia and shipped it over on a ship in one of those big cargo shipping crates. So he managed to get that around here. So it's a left-hand drive, if I remember right. And I think he's been on, I think I might have seen Ronnie Dahl might have just recently done a video on him on one of those modified episodes, I believe. I think he's done on this guy. Quite an interesting setup. Might be a Land Rover. I think it was a Land Rover. Whether it was a Defender or Discovery or something. Might have been a Land Rover Defender. And there is another guy I'm following that's doing up a Unibog of late. Whether it's Brendan Tate, not too sure. But I'll have to check, go back and have a look. Thanks for the giveaway, no problems. Well, guys, that's not going to be the only giveaway. I'm going to try to have more giveaways, of course. Wouldn't mind having one. See what I can find, guys. Something decent one day and run a giveaway directly through my channel. Through the channel. And I'll keep an eye out and see what I can find. So I'll just go through the comments here now and see if there's anything else I've missed out on. New Unibog. Rebuild New Zealand channel called Brendan Tate. When these restrictions are overfilled, to have a camp out event similar to what Drifter have done in the past. I would be awesome when these restrictions are overfilled, have a camp out. I wouldn't mind doing something over at Fraser Island one day, guys. I've always had the plan on organising a bit of a run out to Fraser. Well, when I say organise it, you know, I don't want to just go there and just me make the decision. I can offer advice because I've been there so many times. Where to go on a time frame or whatever, depending what the tide is doing. But you guys have choice. If you want to go somewhere, you know, we can, because I've been all over the island and seen it that many times, but it's still always great to head back over there. And I haven't been there for a couple of years. I think it would be. It'd be two years since last September. So it's 2 years and 1 month since I've been over on the island now. So yeah, I'd love to head back over there again, but not while it's summer, not while it's hot, and not during school holidays if I can help it. It's a crazy, crazy place during school holidays. So many people. But in saying that, the last time I went over was the September school holidays, and I still managed to go to beautiful locations where I saw no one for a whole day. What I found during school holidays is people congregate in mass proportions around Eli Creek, the Maheno, Lake Mackenzie, and up around the entrance of the Nagala Rocks in particular. There's quite a traffic jam through there. But you head out some of those inland tracks on the northern section, and you will not see a soul. I kid you not. There is nobody, no one seems to drive on those inland tracks. It goes out towards, you can go out to the western beach side. That was quite crowded. There was quite a few people camping along there, but not as bad as what it was along the ocean side. You should have seen the camp setup, how many people there was. You should have seen Eli Creek. You're virtually bumping into people when you're sitting in your floating going down the river, down the river, creek. You're bumping into people. But it's still awesome. So that place is so much better to go to when there's no school holidays, guys, because it's just crowded. Oh, and another one, I mean, couldn't even get a park to get there, was the, what do you call, champagne pools. Champagne pools. Oh man, how crazy that was. Could not get a park anywhere. I had to park right down on the beach and walk right up there. And that's quite a walk, guys. I kid you not, that's quite a walk. But I went in another time, and it was, I think it was dead low tide or something, and there was no one there. But there was no water splashing over the champagne pools. So obviously people wanted to go there when they wanted all that water to go over. So yep, yeah, what a eye opener. Thanks for the giveaway, no problems. Yeah, I need to go back to Fraser. I'd like to go back there. I wouldn't mind going over there as a solo, doing a solo trip over there one day, or I wouldn't mind having a few people, a few four drives join me. That won't be a problem. But first time going back, I wouldn't mind maybe a few people, you know, come along, and then one day maybe have more go along, come along as well. I know a fair bit about the history of the place, although now it's not called Fraser anymore. I still like to call it Fraser Island. It's what I've been calling it for so many years. But as you're aware, it has had a name change. Gari, I think that's how you pronounce it. Is it Gari Island, which is Aboriginal for, what's it mean? I did know. I cannot remember now. So honestly, as you get older, your memory just goes boop, just straight over the top, eh? So yeah, magic spot. I've seen a lot of changes over the years. The first time I went to Fraser Island would have been some 40 years ago. I'm a lot older than I look. So it would have been 40 plus years ago, and I basically go there a regular basis. And when I go, I go minimum a week, 10 days, sometimes even 2 weeks. I just find the effort in getting over there, by the time you spend the barge fees going over there, I just don't see any point going there for 2 or 3 days. It's such a big island. You're just rushing to go everywhere. And I just don't want to go there and rush and do anything. I like some time to relax, sit around, enjoy the views and so on, talk to some people and so on, go for a nice, easy, relaxing drive, go get a fishing rod and go and bit of a fish, and go to the lakes and sit at the lake there for a while, just go to Eli Creek and pull out your awning and sit there for a while and read a book and have some coffee or something, chat to other people and that, instead of just rushing all over the place. So yeah, that's what I like to do when I go over there. And like I said, don't want to rush. I used to always rush a lot when I go there. So I go there minimum like a week now. 10 days usually. I find 10 days plus is ideal. And you still do not see everything. There's still so much more to see there. I like to go on some of the bushwalks as well. I could pull up somewhere and go for a bit of a walk. Just take me time, have my camera, take some photos, etc. as well. Pull over somewhere, have a bit of a picnic, make another coffee and so on. Pull up at the bar somewhere and have a drink and sit there and chat to people, chat to the locals there for a while. So I used to have mates there that were rangers over there too, and there's a few guys that still are rangers over there that I have actually taught how to deal with the turtles there, the sea turtle. I used to be researcher for the Queensland Turtle Research and for sea turtles, and I did that for many years, for like 20 years. Mostly as volunteer stuff, but I got to go to some of the exotic islands along the Queensland coast when I did that, and I've been on beaches where there are 2,000 plus turtles on the beach. You couldn't even see the sand, there was that many turtles. So I tagged and measured and so on, and yeah, did a lot of that for many years, all through the night. Camped on some of the islands that you are not allowed to go to. There are like islands that are only open to researchers 2 weeks a year, and there's no ban. And it's amazing because the wildlife there is just not used to seeing people, so they're not scared of you, so they just totally ignore you, and you could get up so close. But then even in other places where there's a lot of people, you got these, some of the birds, there's this funny birds, like these shearwaters and the noddies, and I love the noddies. I used to get real pissed off if you got too close to the camp. And the seagulls, man, I can't, you guys have any idea how vicious seagulls can get when you're walking up to next to a nest? One year I was up at, what's it called, that island off Gladstone? Heron Island. I was working on Heron Island for nearly 4 weeks, doing research there. And thank God these seagulls, eventually after a while, they got to know me. And they knew I wasn't a threat. And they accepted me. So it was unreal, because I was really into photography at the time, as I still am now. So I had my good camera, and I still got the photos. I'd have to dig them out and show you one day. You should see these photos, they're awesome. And I got these photos of the seagulls sitting with their chicks. And I could literally sit there and pat the chicks, and they had no worries whatsoever. They'd even fly off and come back and just fed the seagulls, and I'd be literally a foot away from them, and the chicks are just sitting there looking at me, and I'm sitting there with the cameras and everything. But as soon as someone else came within cooey of those birds, they were in attack mode. It was so funny. I was just sitting there just watching them just bombard people. I had no idea seagulls were like, they were worse than magpies. Hey Keith, are you on here? How you going, Keith? How much fuel do you bring over, Phil? I normally buy fuel over there now, but years ago, most of the time when I went over there, I had a 1977 Range Rover, the V8, and the thing guzzled fuel like it was nothing. You could see the needle move. I'm not kidding. When I was forward driving there, you could see the needle, the fuel gauge needle would move. I visibly watched it moving as driving around. Okay. So it's very bad on fuel. So I used to carry jerry cans galore with me. I had jerry cans packed in the background. And I used to go out to camp, and I'd be at Waddy Point campground, Upper Waddy Point campground. And this is, you know, these days you could do stuff like this and get away with it. You could never do it now. And I used to store like literally 10 containers, 20 litre containers of jerry can at camp. And no one had ever pinched the fuel. There was petrol. Always came back and they're always there. And I used to just bulk them there. And then rangers didn't give a damn. They didn't even look twice. But, I mean, back then there was the state forestry. It was run by the state forestry. And there was a lot of tracks too. You think there's a lot of tracks there now? There was heaps of tracks. I still got the maps hanging around here somewhere in one of the drawers, I don't know where, showing all the tracks on there. But there's a lot of tracks there, and as soon as the national parks came in, probably for the better, but affected in some ways because I lost access to some of my favourite places. There's places there like it's called Hidden Lake, and it's hidden. You do not see it until you actually drive into it virtually. So I used to drive through there in the Range Rover, you know, it didn't matter, it was an old vehicle and whatever, I still looked after it, but it didn't matter if it had scratches or anything, and I used to drive through the thick terrain and so on. The tracks are there, always there, and in fact the guys there, you had to carry a chainsaw with you back those days to clear the track, and they used to thank you and help them enormously, it helped them clearing the tracks. So it was actually a courtesy to bring a chainsaw and to cut down trees that fell over the tracks that you couldn't get through. It's so different now. But this is sort of the adventures, you know. I'm talking like 30, 40 years ago. That, you know, it's like that. It changed a lot, probably a lot for the better once the national parks. But one thing they did is they closed down probably 80% of the tracks that was on that island. I don't know if it's that much, but it seems that much, which is a shame. But I've been back over the years and I've still gone back to those same places that I love as a bushwalker. For a while I was an avid bushwalker. I didn't do any forward driving. I just jumped in planes and flew places and went long distance bushwalking for quite some time. And I used to drive up and park my car up at the riverheads in the storage area there, and I used to take the fast cut over to Fraser Island, and I used to walk for 10 days up and right up the middle of the island, and I never saw a soul, not one person in the whole 10 days, carrying everything that I didn't have to carry much water because there was water everywhere. I just brought along really good filters, water filters, and I filtered the water. And would you believe it was very rare I ever saw a dingo. Sometimes at night I could hear them nearby in the distance howling, but they never ever got anywhere with you. When you go up in the middle of the island where there's no tourists and no one's been, the dingoes in that area are so scared of you they do not go anywhere. You will never see them. In 1 week I was there, I never saw them. So yeah, it was quite amazing. So I used to do a lot of that. Long day, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, what is the time? 8:33, or would have been a long day for you, for sure, eh? Are you back home yet, Keith? We need to catch up, Keith. Have another coffee. I'll have to do up one of these latte macchiatos. I think how they pronounce it. I love saying it. I look for any reason to say latte macchiato. Awesome coffee. Cool. See you Friday. Long day. So when are you back on Thursday? Are you back Friday? We'll have to catch up. For sure. You're not going camping this weekend, weren't you? There's a bit of a delay here, guys. I'm not seeing your message till about 30 or odd seconds after you post them before they come up here. So, well, I think it's got to do with this software I'm going through. How's the rooftop tent going, Phil? Oh, wonderful. Man, I'm so happy. You know, you got no idea how happy I am with that rooftop tent. It's by far the best. And honestly, that thing's going to stay on top of that vehicle for a very long time. I'm not changing it for anything. I don't know. For me, I don't think there's anything out there better than that. It's so quick to set up. I pull up a camp, I press a button, 20 seconds, it's set up. Pull out the ladder, hook it on, climb up, go to bed. I've got no bed to make up. Everything's in there that I need. It's got the charging points all included, so I can charge my phones, iPads, all that stuff. It's got 2 fans in there already, so you don't need to add fans. It's got LED lights already in there. All wired up, pre-wired up. It's the first rooftop tent I've owned. I have not had to spend extra money on it. For example, that iCamper. iCamper, around about the same price, ball pig figure, okay, as these Bundertop Bundatop rooftop tents. Around the same price. Alright? I say the Bundatops have got better canvas on it. Certainly, definitely if you want to sleep in the morning, it's really dark canvas. You could close it all up, alright, in the middle of the day, and you still got to turn the LED light on. You can verify, ask any Bundatop owners and they'll tell you that, because the canvas is so dark. So you get nice sleep in the morning if you want it. So the bed's made up. There's plenty of room there. You can leave all your bedding made up. So I just climb up there and just pull the sheets back, the doona back, and 2 pillows up there, household pillows. You don't have to bring those compact backpacking pillows. I've seen some people had to do with some rooftop tents out there now that are having to do all these, backpacking gear virtually. You got to take with you. So it fits in there. Yeah, I didn't want that anymore. If you want to go for a drive away somewhere, climb down, push a button, 20 seconds, put away. 4 latches, walk around, put the ladder on the side, drive away. So, not an issue. Not an issue. And it's around the same price as I mentioned as the iCamper. So, in saying that, the iCamper's brilliant. But I think this one is just leaps and bounds a lot better than the iCamper. I think it's better built than the iCamper. It's stronger than the iCamper. And it's around about the same weight. If anything, it might even be a bit lighter. And surprisingly, this will surprise a lot of you, I actually use less fuel driving on the highway with that Bundatop than I did with the iCamper. And that was interesting, because I couldn't figure that out. And I asked the distributor, the Bundatech distributor here in Australia, Ian. I found something really weird, Ian, is that, he said, what's that? I said, I'm using less fuel with this than I did with the other rooftop tents. I said, I can't figure it out. It's amazing, because it's got a bigger area in the front. He said, he says, yes, I know. He says, because... Yes, I did sell the iCamper, yeah. He said, because there's no nooks and crannies for the wind to trap on it. Alright? A lot of these rooftop tents, it's got a piece here, piece there, these bars along the bottom, all these series of bars everywhere along there. They all trap the wind and then affects the wind dynamics going through, he explained to me. And he explained it to me and he says it surprises a lot of people actually. I try to tell them that, and they says, no, we don't believe you. That's all, because I was expecting to be honest. I was expecting to use more fuel driving on the highway, so it's more quiet, doesn't generate as much noise, doesn't go through as much fuel in my diesel. Quick to set up, waterproof, no wind noise. I've been through storms. There's no wind noise. The only thing is, and they're pre-wired for the solar panel, so you don't have to pay someone to put in the wiring for the solar panel. All you have to do is just bolt it down, just screw it down on the top, and then plug it in, and that's it. So that's the beauty. You don't have to spend extra money on it. So yeah, the iCamper did sell. It'd poop you away. Is that what I said? Pop, push a button and pop, away it goes. Away you go. Weather is bad. I'll give it a miss. But we have paid up front. Paradise Lost on the Burnet. Oh, okay. If you contact them, they'll probably will hold on to that fee for another time when you go back. If your kids were old, to buy one. Yeah, that's the thing, that the Bundatop, definitely not as big as the iCamper, but they do sell them in 3 sizes. Alright, you can get them in 3 sizes. 2 sizes are regularly available here in Australia. The other one, which is something like 6 meters by 3, would you believe? I think they have one that's No, is it 3 meters by 2? I can't remember. They got one is this humongous. You can get it specially ordered here in Australia, but they got a standard size, which is what I've got, and they got a king size. Okay. My suggestion, if you're going to put it on a camper trailer, go for the king size. It's going to cost you a bit more money, but it's got more room in it. You're going to put it on top of a vehicle, you go to the standard size. So virtually vehicle, standard size, camper trailer, king size. Now, there's nothing saying you can't put the king size on a vehicle. I know a guy, I've seen photos of a guy that's did it on a Pajero. He actually put a king on a Pajero. It looked a bit silly though, but he did it and got away with it. So, yeah, the king, I can't remember how wide is it. It's 1.6 wide by, I think it's 1.6 by 2.1 or something. Whereas the standard, I think it's 1.3, thereabouts 1.3 by 2.1. So you got about 30 centimeters more width. You wouldn't think that's much, but you climb in and you have a look, surprisingly how much that little bit of area, how much a difference it actually makes. What's the weight of it? They're around about the 70 kilos. They're custom made, they're all handmade, so now I think they're around about the 73. Some people claim they're 60 kilos, but I think in the older days when I first made them they were. They're a little bit heavier now with the newer models because with some of the added features they've got on them now, which has made them a little bit heavier. So yeah, they're around about, so they're one of the lighter ones in the class. I mean, to go any lighter than that, you go with your Drifter Stockton ones. They're obviously quite a fair bit lighter, of course. So some of you might have no choice if you want a rooftop tent and you can't get a lot of weight on top of your vehicle. You might have to go for something like the Drifter. They're brilliant with how light they are. Yeah. What rack you have running? I've got 3 racks. And they're bolted through the roof. Okay, they're bolted through the roof, their mounting point. So no pop rivets, nothing. I won't use pop rivets. They're bolted right through to the roof. And then they're bolted onto the racks. So there's 3 racks. And the racks I'm using are Pro racks. I went for the Pro racks because they were the only ones that had the fasteners, the legs on them, what do you call the mounting points that you could bolt without doing any major modifications, without bolting right through. Now in saying that, I'm actually going to beef it up even more in the near distant future, particularly before I go to Fraser. I'm going to put a stronger bolt system through and a bigger plate underneath. So I'm going to take the hood lining down and put a stronger more high tension bolts through it and do that way as well. Because I've got the ostrich wing as well. But in hindsight, probably what I'll do is I'll just remove the ostrich wing before I go to Fraser and probably just use my Hexatarp then. And that way I've got absolutely no issue whatsoever. It's well below the weight rate loading. That way I don't have to go too easy on the vehicle when I'm on those tracks, because to be honest, Fraser Island, the place there, you cannot afford to drive too easy on some of those inland tracks, otherwise you are going to get bogged. I sometimes drive around there and I'm driving up and there's people driving along and they are driving so slow and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You're going to get stuck, and sure enough, they go right down. And then of course then I got to stop behind them and try to find a way around it, way to help them out, which is quite annoying, just because they're going too slow. You need a combination of low tyre pressures and momentum, and then a lot of these tour companies over there, they're telling people, you go over there, these backpackers are hiring these tour vehicles and they're driving around with 30 plus psi pressure in the tyres. And I told him, you know, drop the tyre pressures down, you'll get through a lot easier. And no, they won't listen. And then one day, one of them told me, they told us under strict conditions, never drop the tyre pressures down. They always keep them up and high pressure. And I think the reason they're doing that is because of the amount of rollovers they're doing there. Because these people are not experienced four drivers. So quite often, a lot of them are the first timers going over there on the four drive. But I think there's a lot of that's changed now. Don't they have to be with a guide of some sort now? Someone who knows how to drive, and they drive around with him and guide with him. But to be honest, I don't know how effective that is, because the last time I went over there during that school holidays, I came across some of those groups where they had these drive leaders with them, and the way they were driving was absolute disgrace. The way these lead drivers were driving, they just had no idea, guys, no idea, doing everything wrong, and these people just getting blogged one side after another, and I just drove around them. I wanted to get to places, and they just sorted them out. And yeah, so I want to put a roof rack on my new Navara, but I think all rhinos are all riveted on. Yeah, I wouldn't go for a rhino rack. I wouldn't go for a rhino rack. No way. I had a rhino rack on my Vitara, and it was riveted on. Yeah, you just don't want to. There are others better out there. Don't Rhino have a backbone system though? I think they're not riveted on. You're going to spend a few dollars, but there's a system. They don't suit all vehicles though, but they've got something that's called a backbone system. Backbone. And I'm pretty sure they might bolt through. You can definitely modify them to bolt through to the roof. So. Front Runner. Yeah, same here. Front Runner, isn't that the mob that's based in Melbourne? If it is, they are very good. I'm pretty sure that's who they are. But definitely, best. Definitely don't pop rivet on your roof, because you are I'm actually quite, guys, I'm actually quite gobsmacked that the four-wheel drive industry, the majority weren't aware of this. This is something I've always been aware of. Roof load ratings. When Tyler did his video when he lost his roof rack on Fraser Island, and then I was surprised how everyone was so surprised. I thought it was just common knowledge. And then soon after, of all people, Ronnie Dale mentions it too. And then he admitted that he was overweight on his vehicle as well, and he wasn't aware of that. I thought everyone was aware of that. I was surprised that these videos are coming out and people were shocked and all that. I thought it was common knowledge about the, but then guys, see, I love reading. I do a lot of research and a lot of reading, because I do really enjoy reading. I read books. I read, just read. Love reading. Love learning stuff. And I learn a lot by reading. So I go online and I download the manuals, and I go online and I check in, you know, all the details, and sometimes I don't understand something. I'll ring the company up and find out, you know, what's this, what's that, and so on. So I do a lot of research into that. ARB base rack. Yeah, ARB are good, but aren't they heavy? But I don't know, what's a base rack? ARB are so heavy. A lot of people, that's just predominantly, that's a lot of times, predominantly that's all you use. Just ARB roof racks. But now with the rooftop tents coming into the industry, a lot of these ARB roof racks, they're strong, yeah. You put them on your vehicle, but then they're only good to carry like maybe one spare tyre. Any more than that and you're overweight straight away. you know, straight away. Then, so, yeah. I don't know what use are they. Particularly the steel ones, the metal ones. As strong as they are, as rigid as they are, but really you couldn't carry much weight up there because they're so friggin' heavy. So I don't know what the base rack is. I don't follow the ARB all that much, although I do have some ARB products. I think they have the best compressor by far. So I've got the ARB twin air compressor with the tank in that Pajero. Oh, rusted, really? Yeah. Yeah, we would certainly do. You know, when I had the Range Rover, I used to build my own platforms, roof racks on the top. But I never ever carried much stuff in there. I mean, there was nothing around like rooftop tents back then. I wish there was. It would have been. But then it was nothing that those days. They have a tent that take half an hour to put up. That was just normal camping. So, but yeah, I used to carry very little. In fact, I think the only thing I ever used it for to carry up there is if we went on a long distance remote driving somewhere, I'd carry an extra spare tyre up there. And what I mainly used to use it for was to store firewood up on the top as we're driving along travelling from camp to camp. And I put firewood up on the roof rack so I don't have to put them inside the vehicle. And that was the only reason I ever had a roof rack built up on the vehicle. But we used to make them ourselves. We used to make them ourselves, and they were solid, like timber. But then I had a really lightweight frame. The mounts were solid, but then the roof rack itself was lightweight, real thickish aluminium type thing. And in fact, the mesh on the bottom, I used to use those doors, the screen doors mesh, you know, you get off your screen doors. I used to use them off old second-hand doors you pick up at a dump or somewhere. And they were solid. They were solid as. I used to jump up the top and jump up and down on those things. Just got a message. Let's see. Off to bed. Yep, no worries, Keith. Let me know when you're back, eh? To catch up for a coffee and a drink. Yeah. I'm still a beginner, yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised when all these videos came out. Those two videos in particular. The first was Tyler, and then Ronnie Dale. And then, boom, all of a sudden, all these people going on and say, oh, wow, I did not know. And I'm thinking, what? Jeez, I thought common knowledge. Everyone knew about that. So, yeah, I'm kind of... In some ways, I'm probably lucky with me 4-drive. That particular version, I've got the Pajero with the bolts going through. The only thing I'd like, as I mentioned before, I'd like more high tensile. I'd like to change into more high tensile bolt. A bit stronger and more plate underneath before I go Fraser. And probably will, as much as I'm going to hate it because that awning's would be awesome on the island, but I'm probably going to take the awning off and not bring the awning, just bring one of my Drifter Hexatarps, the Drifter Stockton Hexatarp I've got, and use that. Hi Phil, have you heard a Drifter will have another big camp up once borders are lifted? I went to Kenilworth. No, I haven't heard. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if they will ever have them again. If anything, I'd say probably most likely if anyone's going to organise something, it'll be Rob at the Brisbane store, from what I'm hearing. I got no idea if they're going to organise the event again. So, don't know. There's no talk of it. There's no word of it. So, nothing's ever said. I haven't heard anything. I know Rob at times talking about running an event, but I'll wait till the country's open and all this COVID thing is majority all over, I think, before they'll consider doing anything like that, I would imagine. Yeah, hi Phil, Everland Turtle. Hi Phil. You go, mate, you love these live feeds. It seems that way, doesn't it? I've been going a bit crazy overboard with the live feeds. I'm probably going to have a little bit of a break. I've had quite a few the last few days. Well, I was mainly excited because we had the competition going, and now that's been. I'm going to take a bit of a break from the live scenes. That Kenilworth there, that's an awesome place to go camping, isn't it? I love that little town of Kenilworth. Yeah. So wait, what else can I ask? A rough price on the tents? They seem like the best out. Oh, there's about the same price as your iCamper, the Bundy Top. Of course, I got a good discount of mine because I approached Bundu Tech a month before I bought it to see if they're willing to do any deals for me, help me out. And in the end they did, so I didn't pay full price for it. But in return I did some videos for them. Okay guys, so that's how I made up for not paying the full price. I did some work for them, some videos for them. I filmed. But same price as your iCamper 4-man tent. And personally, I think it's a better tent than the iCamper. iCamper, where they do have it, is how big they are. There's got a king size bed in it, but mate, if you be prepared, you only got a mattress that's about 2 inches, if that. I think some of them are even only 4.5 centimeters high mattress, and they're like laying on a torture machine. So then you got to start spending extra money on expensive self-inflating mattresses. And then you need 2 because it's so big. You need like a huge double one and a huge single one to fit in there to fill the space up. So then when you get to camp, it's not so bad. You pull up at camp, you pull out the side, quick to set up, easy to set up. I love how the ladder's built into it. You don't have to store the ladder inside the vehicle. They've got a lot of pros going for them. I love how it's got the sunroof on the top and you can sit down and look up at the stars, even if it's raining, because you've got a clear sunroof. And then if there comes in the sun in the morning, the sun comes through, you just zip it up and close that up. I love that, how awesome that is. I love the map. They've got the world map inside. But they can be a bit noisy when there's a bit of wind around, so you've got to have the back turned against the wind. Otherwise, it just sounds like a flag flapping away. Even worse. The canvas is not very, it's more like a cotton canvas, you know, so it's not really thick, so it lets through a lot of light, I've found. It doesn't seem to handle our UV very well. It seems to, I don't think it's got the UV protection as the canvas on your Bundatech rooftop tents has. Or another one's a Crazy Dog canvas tents. They make an awesome tent. You buy one of those, they're going to last you a long, long time, guys, and they'll keep you dry. I know someone who's bought one recently, and I've gone around and checked it out. And they got a really nice comfy mattress in them as well. I laid in it for a while, and I was quite impressed with the mattress, how comfy it is. Likewise, like the Bundy Top, it's got a very comfy mattress. It's kind of a heavy density, more heavy density 10 centimeter mattress, but I found it perfect for me. A lot of other mattresses are too soft, and some of the others I've found are too hard. This one's perfect, 100% perfect for me, and I get a really good sleep inside that, and it's more comfy than my bed. In fact, if I got a sore back, I could pull out that bunder top, lay in it for about an hour or two, and I just climb out at full and refresh. How awesome that is. So, you have a gas cooking again. I've never ever done a gas cooking. I don't like gas. I don't like gas bottles in vehicles. I never cook with gas. The only time I use gas bottle, to be honest, I got those little gas canisters with that jet boil. Okay, I bring that. But I don't take gas bottles with me. I don't take gas cookers with me. I've never done that for probably, goodness, 4 or 5 years. What I normally use is a shallite, a little shallite burning stove. Okay, that you normally use shallite. But I don't use shallite because it's a poisonous, bad, stinks to high heavens. Makes your pots go that black. I hate how it goes that black. So I use the, what do you call the fuel that they use in the fireplaces? It's like an alcohol fuel, and you can buy it in bulk. And when you buy it in bulk, it works out cheaper too, and it's a lot cleaner burning fuel. It doesn't stink to pie, Jesus, Jehovah, Jesus, whatever, like that shallite stuff does. And it's really good because you can really control the heat really fine. Unfortunately, you cannot buy these stoves anymore. They don't make them, but they're more for the yachting industries. And they're those Origo stoves. So I've got one of those Origo 3000 stoves with the 2 burners. Thank God I bought it when I did. I bought it, and then not long after, they just went out. They stopped buying them anymore. But lately, I got into the induction cooktop. I'm loving the induction. I think it's great. It's lighter. I don't have to carry extra fuel with me. It takes up hardly any space. It doesn't matter how strong or which way the wind's blown. The wind doesn't affect it at all. So I've been using the induction cooktop. Yep. Is it the Metho cooker? Yeah, Metho. Sorry, did I say Caro or something? Metho. Yeah, methylated spirits. I think that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, but I don't use the Metho because, as I mentioned, it's poisonous. It stinks. The smell. I use. Hang on. Let me grab the bottle and I'll show you what I use. I've got it right beside me. Here we are. You buy these in bulk. So I don't know if you can see that. Can you read that? Is that coming up clear enough? I haven't got my good camera here. Let me go a bit closer. You might be able to read that. So bioethanol. It's a bioethanol fuel. So you buy these to use inside the fireplaces that are used inside the house. So for that reason, they can't have too much of those poisonous chemicals in it. Okay, like the Metho does. And it makes a perfect fuel to use in those Origo stoves. Yeah. So I think I've got about 5.5 litres left of it. And now it still leaves a little bit of soot under your pots and pans. You still have to clean them. Okay. But it's not as bad as your Metho's Metho though. It's not as dirty as that. And also it's if you add a little bit of water in it, it reduces the heat a tad. But add a little bit of water, something like 10% water in it, and you're going to have less black. It actually cleans even a lot cleaner burner. It doesn't leave as much black underneath your pots. I found over the years testing that out. Yeah, well they did. Those Metho cookers did take off, but they were mainly popular for the yachting industries. And that's why these Origos are built the way they are, with these, stainless steel and and all that. And you know, once you buy one, they last a lifetime because they're used in a salty environment in yachts. So, and a lot of people still are using them in the yachts. But I don't know, for some reason they've stopped making them now. But yachties, they were very popular. They were mainly sold in that. That's why quite often when you're buying them, you could never really get them unless you've gone to yachties brokers somewhere or whatever, or in these big marine shops and that. You often get them through there. Um, Yeah, that's pretty Newport. That's pretty much the action I'm taking at the moment. I've got the induction cooking and a jet boil as a backup. That's pretty much it. In fact, I've got another little stove, a backpacking stove. You can't get them here in Australia because of the stupid gas laws they've got here. But the company gave it to me when I was doing a lot of backpacking, and it's not here. It's in the vehicle. And that's what I use as a backup. So it uses the little gas canisters, and it's awesome. So it's really good. But as I mentioned, you can't buy them here in Australia. The company gave it to me, and what do they call MRI, MSC or something? Oh, I don't know. American based. A lot of good stuff comes from America when you looking into stuff like that, small cooking utensils and so on. I can't even remember what it's called now. Goodness, I've had it that long. But yeah, it's sitting in the car. So that's the backup. The only reason I'm being the jet boil is to quickly heat the water up for me hot shower at night. But now I've got the induction cooktop. That should do it even quicker. Um, So yeah, I got the Origo 3000. I wish I had also bought the Origo 1000, or is it the 1500? Because it's great, that Origo 3000 is great, but I don't really need a twin burner stove, and it's quite big, bulky, and heavy. Takes up quite a fair bit of room, and also then you've got to bring the extra fuel for it too. Whereas, like I said, with the induction, you don't need to. I would have liked the single burner one, would have been ideal. That's all I would have needed. But if there's any wind around, you got to really make sure. And that's the thing, then you got to start carrying windshields and all that. And that's the induction cooktop, you don't need to carry any of that. So it's actually less stuff you need to take with you. Does your travel buddy ever leak moisture? No. No. I must admit, I've really haven't ever noticed moisture leaking out the travel buddy. And I've used it cooking roasts and that inside the vehicle. And I sometimes might have, but that could be because I've done some modifications to the door. I actually put the door insulator on it that mounts on the inside. And I think I got that from that mob at BWM, BMY, whatever they're called. I don't know. Actually, let me go see. I might have it sitting right here. Just bear with me. No, I think it's in the other room. You know that Melbourne manufacturer where you can buy the pots, not the pots and pans, but you can buy the big pans that go inside the drawers and so on. You can get a half size one, so you can fit two in, or you get a full size one. What they call BWI or MIWI or something. Can't even remember what they're called now. Yeah, no, I can't think of it now. And for roast and that, I use a full height one, and then it's got a trivet inside, and then you just put the roast in there, and because I would imagine if you're probably cooking a roast without using one of them, I wouldn't be surprised you would get some moisture coming out. But they also make these door insulators. Okay, that screws on the door, so it's got like a ceramic fibre and then another piece of alloy over the top of that. Or is that at the front? That actually might go at the front of the door if I remember. Goodness guys, I haven't used my travel buddy in such a while. I forgot what he even looks like. Does your travel buddy ever leak moisture from the front door? Gets everywhere in my canopy. Yeah, I think you need one of those trays. The deep tray. MWA or BM. Actually, let me go see. I'm pretty sure it's sitting in the cupboard here. I can show you what it looks like. No, I don't know where the tray is. They're probably still sitting in the shed where I last put them when I took them out the car. In fact, I just opened my travel buddy up now. Have a look in there. I didn't clean it last time I cooked. It's pretty filthy in there. It's dirty. I have to clean that out tomorrow. Killed one of my batteries. Oh, interesting. You've had that happen to you too. About my oven going off to run by itself. Mine's done it twice. Twice mine's done it. And the first time I didn't know about that issue. The first time it was running for 3 days before I realised it. So the travel buddy was running in my car for 3 days. It was mostly parked in the garage. I wasn't going anywhere. After 3 days I went to the garage. And I got in, I could smell something burning. I couldn't figure it out straight away what it is until I went around the back and I saw this heat coming from the travel buddy and it was on for 3 days. And another time not long after that I switched it off. I actually saw it, I sat there, I switched it off and the thing went ping, it went over and went on run. So ever since then I always unplugged it. Yep, ever since then. So I do not trust them. I do not trust the travel buddy. So you guys out there, the travel buddy, make sure you put a decent switch in it or just unplug it. Don't leave it plugged in when you're not using it. Yeah, it was plugged into the mains because I always had an electric charger on my AGM. Because the AGM likes to be fully charged all the time. Doesn't like any energy taken out of it. Contrary to the lithiums, they like to go through the charge cycles. They love it. Okay? AGM don't like that. AGM tell us the longest, the more fully charged it is. So every time I came into the garage, I plugged the electric charger in it. So it's always fully charged. Otherwise, yep, it would have killed that battery. No doubt at all, it would have killed it. Yeah. I wasn't all that impressed with the travel buddy, to be honest. When I first got it, I was. But the build quality, mine is really, I've replaced it twice. I bought it locally here. And I bought one and I opened it up and it was just horrid, the build quality. It had rivets that were half hanging out. They weren't even put in properly. Yeah, I wasn't happy with it. So I took it back and replaced it. And the one I got it replaced, it's not much better. It's also where it's folded over. It's not evenly folded. There's big gaps, and so it's not perfectly folded. And again, the rivets are only half in. They're not in fully all the time. So I don't know whether they had a bad week when they were making them at one stage, but they were very poor workmanship. I've seen others that were put together perfectly, but the one I've got is just poor quality. The workmanship, poor quality. Um, and then when I first got it, I started using it as a cigarette lighter plug. And boy, amazing how hot that cigarette lighter plug. I was amazed it never melted. As soon as I saw that, I snipped it off and put an Anderson plug on it, and it's been fine ever since. So why they sell them with a friggin' cigarette lighter plug that draws that much energy, it just blows ridiculous. So yeah, so I had to spend extra money on it. And now with this thing here that doesn't turn off properly, when you turn it off and then it by itself it just go bing on the run. Yeah, that's just crazy. I think you're the third person now that I've heard from that's had that same problem. Yep, you're the third one. If fine to use, just unplug the thing. Don't leave it on. Don't leave power connected to it. Unplug it. Or get a decent switch. Put a decent switch on the positive side. Something you can rely on. And so way you can just flick it to turn it on and off the power to it. And ideally get a switch that's got a light on it. So when it's got power on, the light comes on. So you can walk around, glimpse at it. If you see that red light on or whatever, you know, bang, straight away. That's what I do with my 4-drive. I put switches in some of the components there so I can turn them on and off. But I have it so there's a little light on there that comes on when it's powered on. Especially for the rooftop tent. Because I don't want power to remain there all the time when I'm not camping. I've never emailed them about the problems. I never bothered about it. When it works, it still works fine. So I just unplug it when it's not working. Will I use it again? I don't think I will, eh? Those air fryers. What used to take me an hour and a half to cook in that thing takes 15-20 minutes in an air fryer with the 240 volt. Yeah. Your red LED only works 20% of the time. Mine used to work all the time. It was constantly on. I don't think I've ever seen the thing cycle. Yeah. Yeah. Change my door would stop that from happening. Yeah. Oh, well, how many people we got on? My red LED. 8 people still on. Cool. How long we go? 2 hours, 20 minutes. Wow, guys, I was only going to be on for a short time. But I do enjoy these live feeds. That's amazing. Yeah, I was only going to be... It's given me all this... Oh, look at all the playbacks. 263 people has played back. Gives me all these specifications here. Sweet. A little trouble buddy seems to be better than my large one. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I'm amazed that mine actually... I tell you what, I'm amazed that mine actually ran for 3 days and it still works to this day. It didn't cause any issues. Non-stop for 3 days. I've worked out it was on for. And yeah, it's amazing. It didn't fry itself, whatever, or worse, start a fire. Oh, definitely had a cigarette lighter plug. I wouldn't imagine any more modifications in the car. I I might make a little drawer, a single drawer I can pull out all the way, so not those ones that pull out 3/4 of the way and then you've got to dig in underneath to try to get to the rest of the stuff at the end of the drawer. Don't like those type of drawers, and most of them seem to all make them like that. So just a little drawer just on the side so I could put all my pots and pans, utensils, forks, knives, condiments and so on, you know, like your salt and peppers and spices and that, all that stuff there. The spare little burner and that. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But if I'm going to do something like that, I want it strong and I want it lightweight. So I'm figuring out how to do that. Apart from that, update the battery to probably 200 amps and something that can sustain the discharge rate minimum of 200 amps. That's 200 amp capacity. Actually, that's not really important. I can get away with 100 amp. But something I want is a continuous discharge of 200 amps and something where I can charge at, say, 100 amps charge rate. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I need to do to the vehicle. Which is going to be tricky for my YouTube channel if I don't have new products coming in and, you know, stuff to review. So I'm pretty much at the point there now. I'm really happy with the vehicle. I want to relocate the battery from in the third seat well and relocate it beside the fridge. Make a little shelf there. Got plenty of room there that can easily accessible. I can easily get to. I can see how it's going, whether it's, you know, any puffing or anything like that. I like to relocate it to there. That's something I'm going to do very soon. Yeah. I'm going to do a proper 4-drive walk around one day after I've tidied it up on the inside. And I've sorted out all the cables. That's another thing too. The cables I've got are too long. So I don't want to pull the cables out, take them at town, get ripped off to get them cut short and put a joiner on because they rip you off in this town. So I want to buy a really good quality. I've been looking around for a really good quality crimper. Those big battery cable crimpers. Hydraulic ones or something like that. I think I found one that Total Tools sell here in Bundy, and it's listed in stock online. So I'm going to go check it out in the morning. If they've got it in stock, I might get that. And then when I'm in the process relocating the battery, I'm just going to cut all the cables down because they're too long in there. And that's about it, eh? There's no really other modifications that I'm going to get done to that vehicle. You might notice on the outside there's very little done to it. I've got no bull bar or anything like that. I haven't found a use for the bull bar to warrant the extra weight of a bull bar. I don't do any driving at night time really. I try not one of those people that drive around that late in the afternoon and, you know, and drive around at night. So I've never seen any use to spend all that money on a bull bar. I want a cable crimper that will do at least 90mm square cable. Okay, at least 90mm square. I think the thickest cable I'm using now is 70. But I might up it to 90 from the multi-plus to the deep cycle battery, particularly if I'm going to get something that's going to draw 200 amps continuously. I always like to go one cable up bigger than what they recommend. So I want something to do at least 90. Total Tools has got one that'll do 120. It says in the specs it'll do between 6 to 120. And I think it's a 199. And it's not hydraulic though, but it's 600 mils long. So I'm wondering if my arms are going to be, I would have liked a hydraulic one, but I haven't really found a hydraulic one that'll do 90 plus. Yeah, I was worried you'd say that hydraulic one. Um, and the most I can find hydraulic ones seem to be 70 mil squared. I want something that'll do at least 90 mil square. There's a lot of the cables in my vehicle now is 70 mil square. And boy, is that some thick, hefty cable. That's full on, eh? But I'm going to be running that oven there, that 240 volt oven there, guys, and I'll grab that cable and hold on to it, and it's cold. There's no heat in it. Your one at work does 120. Okay, is that a hydraulic? 120 at hydraulic. That would be ideal. I've searched online, you know, and I cannot find plug-in screamer for so. What size would you reckon? Bigger or smaller? Cool. Threaded Chef to sent me a message. I'll just answer that shortly. Yeah, I don't know about 120. The one I saw Total Tools is 120, but like I said, it's not hydraulic. But it's got the handle that's 600 mil long. So wouldn't that 600, that extra strength, would that make it easier to crimp? Don't know. I'm pretty strong myself, but my wrists and arms are not the best anymore. Okay, they're not as strong as I used to, so I've lost some strength in my hands. Yeah, try to find the brand. I'm gonna check out tomorrow. This one tomorrow. I was gonna buy it, but I'm not too sure now. I'll have to try to see if I can find a YouTube video on it and see a video on someone using it, and it'll give me an idea. But I still might go and have a look. I still might go check it out, but I won't buy it tomorrow. So I'll wait to hear from you. If there's a good quality hydraulic one that'll do minimum 90, to do 90 mil square and below, that would be ideal. Because I should have bought one yonks ago, years ago. I've spent so much money on cables. I usually go uptown and get the auto electrician to make them up for me, but the last lot he made up was just way ridiculously too long. I don't know, electrical wholesalers, do they sell stuff like that? We got quite a few electrical wholesalers in town here. I've always wondered where they sell them. So I might actually go and check out a couple tomorrow as well. I might actually do that. So see if they sell anything like that. Yeah. Off to bed, Keith. Cool. Yeah. Always go to electrical wholesale. They might have a kit to order. I was hoping I'd be able to find something someone's got in stock and buy it locally here. But the only one I can find that's anyone sells here that's over a 70 mil square capability is that one at Total Tools. It's listed, it's on site, but like I said, it's not hydraulic. They do have one hydraulic one that's in stock. I think it was $90 or something, $96, and it's 70 mil square though. But I don't know. Yeah, Heyman's. I don't know who C&W is or LAU. Never heard of them, but we do have a Heyman's here. Heyman's Electrical. They've got a big warehouse, I think. I'll try and write that down. I wasn't sure whether they'd sell stuff like that to electricians, but I'll definitely go and have a look at that. Yeah, because I'm always doing cables, 12 volt, changing cables, renewing them every so often, checking them, redoing the fittings. So it's going to work out a lot cheaper if I buy a decent one instead of paying someone else uptown to do it. Yeah. Oh well, what's it, 2 hours 30 minutes? I'm getting thirsty. I might log off, go watch a bit of tally. I will, definitely will go and check out Heyman's and a couple of the other places uptown tomorrow. I'll still go to Total Tools and check out that one. But you reckon I should try to stick to a hydraulic one? Particularly if we're going 70 or 90, probably would be wise, eh? And me wrist and arms, me hands are not as strong, so I don't know what the difference is between the hydraulic and that one. To tell the truth, I've never used them before. I never tried one. Never had an opportunity to try them out, so I'll have to definitely do that one day. Oh, we've still got 8 people viewing. How cool is that? We are learning from everything you say. You're a legend. Thank you, Zane. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you. I do my best on working out how stuff uses. Spring-loaded ones. Yeah, I've actually got one really small one for little connectors. But I hopefully whatever I get will also go down small enough to be able to use on Anderson plugs. Because when I do Anderson plug connectors, I put them on the ground on the concrete garage floor. I get a heavy duty steel peg. It's solid metal. And I get a hammer and I put it on there and go bang, whack. That's how I've been connecting all my Anderson plugs together. And I could sit there and pull as hard as I can. You will not get them apart. That's it. They're stuck there forever. Been doing that for years and it works fine. But probably better to use a proper... I wouldn't mind getting something to use a proper... But it's not critical if it doesn't go over. I mainly want one to do the big, strong, thick, heavy cables. The hydraulic ones. Yeah. Keith bought one recently for the Anderson plugs, and it does a brilliant job. It wasn't cheap though, but we picked up at an auto electrician in town one day when I helped him to rewire his camper trailer that he just purchased not long ago. It had to be rewired because there was a bit of dodgy work done on it. Well, it was very dodgy work done on it. And so we mostly rewired it and put in a DC-DC charger and a battery monitor with a shunt on it as well. He bought a proper one for do the Anderson plugs, so it's the first time I actually used one for the Anderson plugs. I must admit it does seem it's better than using the old but it works. I've got cables I've done that 5 years ago and they're still working to this day. It's cheap. You just got to get a hammer and it's a really thick peg. It's a really old peg that I had from years gone by. It's about that long, whatever. And it's about 1 foot long and it's really thick, solid metal. And it seems perfect thickness for crimping the Anderson connectors. I've never admitted that to anyone before. Yeah. Alright. I might log off now, guys. This is only going to be a short video tonight. So much for the short video. Goodness me, 2 hours and 35 minutes. Woo! That's alright. That's okay. So 2 hours, actually I'm looking 2 hours 35, 2 hours 30. Oh my gosh, you guys are nearly a minute behind me. Oh my gosh. Alright, that's tricky. Okay, there's nearly a minute delay to what you're typing, what I'm seeing. You guys are typing after what I see. So, yeah, this software I'm using, there's a huge delay through it. It's a bit longer. It was at 30 seconds the other day. Now it's a minute. So, I might have to refresh. Let me refresh and see if that makes any difference. Hopefully I still got you. Let's have a look. Let me see, I'm just curious. 236, 236.30, 235.35. Still the same. Still nearly a minute delay. There you go. Okay. Alright, I'm going to log off now, guys. So thanks for joining in tonight. It's a great chat. And yeah, till next time, eh? Look after yourself. Okay? Cheers. Bye.